hit that like, sub to the channel if you are not a member, and hit the notification so that you're able to get all of my content and as well as all of my videos. Hold on 1 minute, y'all. Sorry about that. Salute to the whole entire LDBC, basketball and boxing. And salute to all the people that rock with me. Let's get right to this, all right? I wanted to talk about two subjects right now. Something that's kind of been on my mind now. SGA versus Luka. Okay, now we know that both of them are having dynamic seasons. SGA is back to doing what he normally does. Luka's back to doing what he normally does, even though last season they ended up on a note that they really didn't want to end on. But as far as individual wise, Luka is just absolutely destroying. Right now, he's leading in scoring at I think roughly a little over 40 a game. Uh, Also averaging damn near a triple double. Then we have SGA, who's averaging about 33 points a game. I mean, he's not leading the league in scoring, but he still is in many people's eyes, the MVP too as well, because the Thunder have the best record in the league, and they continue to destroy and dismantle teams. And on top of that, they have the ring; they are the defending champs. But this is the question that I have. Okay, who is the better scorer? Who is the better scorer? I didn't say the best, the better overall player. Okay, because if we're gonna go by that, of course I'm gonna choose SGA. That might be, a bias in terms of two-way player bias because SGA it does play both ends of the floor, and also he has the knack for getting to the rack too as well. You know what I'm saying? And he can score in a multitude of ways. Here's the thing, man. As far as Luka is concerned too, Luka, when he gets hot, he gets red hot. Um, but there's a drawback with Luka. Okay. Um, in my opinion, and I'll get back to the drawback because it doesn't necessarily have to do with what we're talking about per se. In terms of scoring, okay, who's the better scorer? On this one, I would have to go with. I'll get a slight edge to SGA. Okay, I'll get a slight edge to SGA. SGA is a little bit more consistent in the way that he scored. Now, you know what you're gonna get from SGA. Now he shoots a high percentage too. SGA is he's at 53. If I'm not mistaken, he's at 53.5%. Okay, from field goal range. Now 3 point, not so much. I think he's shooting, in the low 30s or whatever. Never really was a guy that that's going to shoot a high percentage from 3 pointers, but he's still able to be consistent in terms of his scoring all the time. You know what I'm saying? Rarely are you going to see this guy score under 20. Matter of fact, he was on a record pace in which he uh, passed up. I think it was Oscar Robertson just a few days ago in terms of getting 20 plus, each game. Uh, Here's the thing, man. Okay, here's the thing. SGA. Everybody likes to sit here and they like to call him, free throw, reliable and all that other stuff. Well, As a guard, that's what you're supposed to do, man. You're supposed to get to the line. You know what I'm saying? Create contact, and then also uh, you got to be smart about what you do. Let's focus on Kobe Bryant for a second, right? And I've talked about this already. Kobe Bryant used to be smart in terms of how he uh, would get his defender off balance. Okay, he would get him, to go for a series of fakes and stuff, only to ultimately get get to the line, create contact, and get to that line, and be able to earn his points at the line. And sometimes they got him in a good groove too as well. But I'm going with SGA on this one. I'm going with SGA. Like I said, it's no knock to Luka. Him losing the weight, it has helped. Now with Luka, I think he's gonna have to learn to stop getting hurt so much. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the only drawback that I have against Luka, but that has to do with overall player. That doesn't necessarily have to do with his scoring. But like I said, man, both are incredible. Right now, you could, some people would say that Luka is MVP. Now he's got to continue to play. You know what I'm saying? He can't be every time you turn around, oh, there's something wrong. No, and that's why I'm continuing to give the edge to SGA, regardless of how many points he has, regardless of how if he's averaging a triple double, things of that nature. You know, but yeah, I'm going with SGA. And it's looking like the Thunder are picking up where they left off. You know what I'm saying? Had the best record in the league. And he's doing it shorthanded too. That's another thing. Luka doing it shorthanded too. He's doing it shorthanded without LeBron. But SGA was doing that last year. Yeah, matter of fact, he had multiple players out. Like three of the main players out. When you include Chet Holmgren, I think J Dub was out for a little bit too, and held it down, didn't stop. And to me, man, being consistent, always ready. You know what I'm saying? Always ready to go. He ain't got this going on, ain't got that going on. That guy is dependable, just like Jordan was dependable, just like Kobe was dependable, just like some of the guys back in the past. You know what I'm saying? They were dependable. A lot of people say, "Oh yeah, well this guy could play in the '90s, that guy could play in the '80s, and stuff like that." SGA could play in the '80s. SGA can play in the '80s. Let me make that abundantly clear. SGA can play in the '80s. He can play in the '70s. He can play in the '60s. You know what I'm saying? SGA can play in that era, and let me tell you why. Because he has heart. He shows up. He ain't making no excuses. The guy shows up every single day. Like I said, it ain't no knock on Luka. I think Luka could probably, fare in the '80s. You know what I'm saying? He plays at a very slow pace. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to sit there and rush him to what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? He's not, out of control. He tends to be under control. I think that he could play too. But as far as the lasting and the rigors and the grit, the grind, you know what I'm saying, that it takes for the '80s, man, SGA can fare well. He will definitely make it. Now I want to focus my attention on the Sixers uh, squad. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. Now, Raptors and the Sixers. Raptors and the Sixers, man. Uh, we're coming off back-to-back losses. Okay, we took an L to the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Chicago Bulls. Okay, Listen, man, the Raptors need to be taken seriously. Okay, uh, can't look at the Raptors like we used to look at them. Okay, you got Scotty Barnes coming in. I think he averaging 20.9 points a game. I've always liked Scotty Barnes. I always like. Hold on one second. All right, now you got Scotty Barnes coming in there. He's averaging 20.9 points a game. Then of course you got Maxi. Um, he's averaging around 30. Uh, around about 30, 38 points per game, somewhere around there. You know what I'm saying? Might have went down a little bit. Uh, but this is a battle of the gods. Of course, the Raptors, they do have a good supporting cast. You got Brandon Ingram that's over there. And you got one of my favorites, my personal favorites, in RJ Barrett over there. Shout out to Duke. Um, this is going to be a test too, regardless of what we may think. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a test. Raptors have been battle tested. They've been winning some real good games. This ain't the same Raptors team like they was getting blown out. No, these guys have grown together. They play with each other. Scotty Barnes and RJ Barrett are really starting to really come into their own, especially Scotty Barnes. I don't know why people don't mention Scotty Barnes, man. Scotty Barnes can hoop. Scotty Barnes is that guy over there in Toronto. You know what I'm saying? RJ Barrett, he is that guy out in Toronto. I know he started off a little bit slow and everything like that. RJ Barrett in New York and all that. You know what I'm saying? But he went over there to Raptors. He had a home. Uh, and those guys, man, are starting to really gel together. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it just takes, a couple of seasons. You know what I'm saying, for y'all to learn each other. And see, that's why the brother Tiki TV had made a point about the Thunder. I think it was Tiki that them guys have grown together. You know what I'm saying? They've lost together. You know what I'm saying? They've been through trials and tribulations together. You know what I'm saying? And you have to go through that in order to be successful. Now, are the Raptors a championship team? I'm not gonna go that far, but they're looking like a playoff. They're looking like a team that could be tough in the playoffs to play that people are overlooking. Sort of like about roughly a year and a half or so ago, a year or so ago, the Magic was. That's how the Magic. That's how the Magic were looked at. They were looked at as a team that you can't really overlook. You got to look at. Of course, people are starting to take Detroit seriously. Who we got next game? Um, this we got to win this game. Like I said, we're six right now in the East. Okay, we're six right now in the East. Um, but like I said, man, we get this win. That'll get us in a good groove going into Detroit. Uh, Embiid is going to play. How he's going to pan out, I don't know. Uh, that's another thing too that concerns me. The fact that Embiid is not playing back to backs. I mean, some people might be like, oh yeah, well he's getting rest on his knee and stuff like that, which I understand. But also, basketball is still a game of rhythm, man. And Embiid, man, he tends to come, get out of rhythm. That's what I'm worried about. For the most part, Embiid he's been solid. You know what I'm saying? Now, he still tends to disrupt the offense just just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna go hard on Joel Embiid, and let me tell you why, man. Joel Embiid, uh, I had to sit back and think, man. He has played through pain. Now, has it been pain and injury? Has it been kind of on a stupidity level? Yeah, but at the same time, okay, I can't fault him for some of the stuff that he's doing. Now, I fault him for going to the Olympics when he should have rested. Guys like myself and a couple of other people were telling him, "Hey, sit your ass down." You know what I'm saying? That's what you needed to do instead of worrying about the Olympics and everything, and then you could come back refreshed. And that's what we wanted to see. That's what we wanted to see from Embiid. But unfortunately, you see what happened. He ended up playing the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? And then he coming back, and you know what I'm saying. Then he got this going on, got that going on. Nah, man, nah. You should have just rested. You should have just rested. You should just maintain, what you were doing, uh, and just stay, consistent with the rest, man. But like I said, man, having Embiid in there, it does give us, some size, but they still got to be able to get up the court. The Raptors gonna get up and down the court, man. They're gonna get up and down the court. It's not like we're playing this Raptors team where you could just come in there, and run them over or whatever, and then blow them out. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. Absolutely not. So it's gonna be a test for us as well as Detroit. Uh, Got to see how we pan out against them. I can't wait to see. I'm more anxious to see the matchup with Maxi and Kay Cunningham. Shout out to them Texas boys. They both played high school ball. While they was in Texas and everything. Appreciate the light. Appreciate you coming in here, man. Everything right now. Talking about Scotty Barn in the Raptors versus Maxi and the Sixers and Edgecombe as well, and Embiid and Grimes, everybody on our squad, and Oubre has been balling too. Another thing is, man, I love the way Oubre has been playing this season. This guy, man, really, um, he's maturing. You know, still makes some, mistakes here and there. You know what I'm saying, but not like he once did. You know what I'm saying. And one thing that I never discounted Oubre on was his effort. You know what I'm saying? He was always giving the effort. You know what I'm saying? Just he had some injuries in the past. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes he had a problem with being consistent. But he's a great complimentary player. He's turning out to be a great complimentary player. Now he can't carry a team. Carry the load like a like one of the better superstars. Like a Luka or something like that. But he still is turning out to be one of the great complimentary players, man, in the league. So y'all tell me what you think, man. Y'all leave your comments. Make sure you like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notifications too. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. I'll get at you later.